Good morning. It's a little bit of a late start to the morning. I'm planning on doing a little bit of just like a writing focused day, writing Project Submarine, which is a fiction novel that I'm working on. It's a little bit weird to be choosing to work on that right now because there's a thing going on with my nonfiction that's really stressing me out. I'm gonna work on it tomorrow. I'm recording tomorrow, so that'll be the next vlog and I can explain it then. I think having a little bit of a chill day is smart. I think it's important. I tend to have a better mindset in the week when I start with a day like this where I'm just kind of writing and vibing and relaxing and not really working on things that are too overly stressful. And I don't mind dealing with those later in the week, but it's just nice to start on a nice note. I am planning on doing a writing retreat in November. It's the beginning of September right now, so I've got a bit of time. I've been really working on a good schedule for it and trying to figure out a good routine to build. So I'm gonna be testing out a bit of that routine today. It's not perfect because there's some house stuff that I had to take care of. I had to bake some bread and do laundry, and I had a bit of a later start than I would in November when I'm doing it, but it's at least a general idea. So part of the structure is that I want to read for like half an hour and then go for a really long walk and then write. So that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm going to read for about half an hour. At that point, my laundry, the first load should be finished so I can hang that up to dry. And then we can go on a really nice long walk, end that walk at a cafe, and then come home after we work for a little bit and see where we're at that point. If I do a second writing session in the day, which I'm planning on, I'm gonna try to do that at home and set up my house a bit like a cafe because I have been really struggling to write at home recently. It has not gotten any better since the last time I recorded. Half of me has just given in to the fact that maybe I just have to write at cafes. So one of the reasons why I'm writing at a cafe this morning is so that way I have a good start. So if my laundry is very loud. So if my attempt at, hold on. Hopefully that just dampens it that tiny bit. Yeah, so I'm doing a cafe trip in the morning today just because if my attempt to kind of makeshift the same feeling at home for a lot cheaper doesn't work, I don't want to feel like I've lost a whole day. That'll set me not feeling great for the rest of the week. It'll be the opposite of what I'm hoping to achieve. So I think that having at least a good session that I at least believe will be as good as I can manage. Obviously, writing, you can't always like force yourself to have a good writing day, but you can give yourself all of the tools and the routines and stuff that typically work for you. I have been reading Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, and I am very much enjoying it. I've kind of just hit like a huge point in it, so I'm looking forward to reading it for half an hour. So I'm gonna set a timer. I'm gonna make myself a little cup of tea. I'm gonna set a timer, and then I'm gonna sit and read for a little bit, and then we're gonna go for a walk. Welcome to my cafe. So I am gonna try sitting in my kitchen for this one. I've made some tea, it's currently steeping while I explain this. I thought that sitting in a different space might help than my desk. See if that helps get a different vibe to it. I am also gonna put on Sorry, I need to find my speakers over there. I'm gonna put on some like cafe ambiance noise, I think. I normally have like a soundtrack that I have for each project, and I've been listening to a lot of Florence and the Machine for this one, for Project Submarine. So in the past, when I've been at my desk, I've been listening to Florence and the Machine while I was typing. So I'm gonna try just listening to some kind of general ambiance-y type stuff to see if maybe that changes the way that it works. Yeah, we're gonna just give it a try, and we're gonna see how well I do in my makeshift cafe vibe. We're gonna do our best. Oh, hello. Me. I don't know where is a good spot. I can't see. All right. Hopefully that's fine framing. We're gonna just go with it. So I'm gonna call it there for today. I just pulled some bread out of the oven, and so that has taken care of all of the household stuff and also 2 sessions of writing. I think I'm happy with that. I wrote today 3,379 words, and that brings the current draft amount of Project Submarine to 21,468 words. My goal initially was to have hit 20,000 words by the end of September. I am recording this on September 8th, so I'm feeling really good about where I'm at. We're not gonna coast for the rest of it. We're just gonna keep going, keep making strides, because I am making progress, and I'm really happy with the progress that I'm making. My makeshift cafe actually kind of worked pretty decently. I was a little distracted at times because I was still working on the bread, so I needed to kind of deal with that a little bit while I was doing it. But other than that, I think it worked out fairly well. I think I wrote another... Yeah, well, actually, I can do the math, didn't I? Because I took a photo. Hold on, I'm gonna do math. Oh, wow. I did, right? Yeah. Never mind. Apparently during that session I did 1,730 words. It didn't feel like like that much. But I did, so that's good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, so I think that was a pretty good day. I think that makeshift cafe might have worked. I don't know if it's gonna work all the time, but we're gonna take it for what it is and be happy with it for now. We'll take the wins when we get them. Anyway, thanks for being with me. If you have any strange tricks to get yourself to write, I'd love to know them, because I am in that mode of right now of like experimenting and figuring out what works for me and what kind of systems work, where if I'm gonna do a writing day, what does that entail? I think the reading in the morning really helped, going for the walk really helped. The makeshift cafe really helped. So we'll kind of figure out what else works for me, but I'd love to know what works for you and what kind of strange things that you do that really helps you get in the mode to write. And I will see you next time. Bye!